Hi everyone, I hope everyone he's doing good, and welcome on this video. Today fabulous people, we gonna talk about Loki. I know, Loki is master race. So let's start with his passive. Loki wall latch duration, lasts 10 times longer than normal, up to a maximum of 60 seconds. This passive is not so useful however. His one is called, Decoy. Loki deploys a holographic copy of himself, drawing enemy fire. Decoy duration, is affected by ability duration. Decoy's shield capacity, and total health, are not affected by ability strength. Decoy's placeable range, is not affected by ability range. Aside from the mentioned status effects, the decoy's shots do not inflict damage. Decoy can be used in conjunction with switch teleport, essentially allowing teleportation, to any point where decoy can be placed. It should be noted that sometimes, there is no switch, and Loki is just teleporting close to Decoy, so careful placing is required sometimes. Decoy's defenses, do not increase at higher levels, or with ability strength, making it very weak, at high levels, if not placed in cover. Deploying a decoy, while one is already active, will remove the previous decoy from the field. If enough damage is done to the decoy, it will collapse and disappear. Griner and Corpus enemies, will keep trying to aim at the decoy, until it disappears even if they cannot see or hit it, making it extremely effective, if placed in good cover against enemy fire. The augment for this ability is, save your decoy. If Loki takes fatal damage, decoy absorbs the damage, and swaps locations. Also increases casting speed of decoy by 50%. This mod can be useful, however I don't play with it. His 2 is, Invisibility. Loki camouflages himself, and becomes untargetable for 12 seconds. While Loki's invisible, all sound effects are muffled, and slightly muted. Loki's vision becomes blurry when he's not in motion, and his visual field becomes more sensitive to light. Duration is affected by ability duration. Stealth damage multipliers, are applied to melee attacks. Coming into physical contact with the enemy, while attacking will temporarily remove the damage bonus. Standard melee attacks are affected by a plus 700% stealth damage bonus, when attacking unalerted enemies, or when cloaked by an ability. This damage increase changes the color of regular damage pop-ups, from white to yellow, similar to critical hits. The stealth damage bonus is affected by the rank of the weapon. Rank 30 weapons deal 700% bonus damage, while unranked ones only gain 100%. Invisibility will also apply to any equipped companion. Cannot be recast while active. The augment mod for this ability is, Hushed Invisibility. Weapon noise is reduced by 100% while invisible. In my opinion, this mod is average. I don't use it. His 3 is, Switch Teleport. Loki instantaneously swaps positions with a target, confusing the enemy. Loki swaps positions with a target within 75 meters, whether it be friendly or hostile. Cast range is affected by ability range. Switching positions with an enemy, will cause it to become confused for a brief duration. The enemy will not attack, until it reorients itself. Confusion will not apply to boss-type enemies. Switch Teleport also swaps the directions Loki and the target were facing. Switch Teleport can be used to easily bypass laser barriers, and similar traps within spy vaults, by casting Decoy in the desired location, and then switch teleporting to it. Decoy itself will not set off laser traps, though it can potentially alert enemies within the vault, causing them to set off the alarm. Switch Teleport also works on allies who are bleeding out, allowing the transportation of them to a safer area, out of the way of enemies if necessary. Can be used on Dargan pilots on the plains of Eidolon, to instantly steal Tusk Dargans. The augment mod for this ability is Safeguard Switch. After teleporting with an ally, they will be invulnerable for 6 seconds. Again, not so useful augment. His 4 is, Radial Disarm. Lets forth a wave of energy, disrupting the projectile weapons of enemies in range, and forcing them to revert to melee combat. Loki releases a pulse of manipulative energy, temporarily stunning, and permanently disarming enemies within a 20-meter radius. Certain enemies will also take 500 impact damage. Radius is affected by ability range, damage is affected by ability strength, and is applied to infested enemies, Oxium Ospreys, Orokin drones, the Zonical Hunter, the Grustrag 3, Corrupted Ancients, and most bosses. Radial Disarm does not prevent infested enemies from using their ranged attacks. Has no effect on capture targets. The augment mod for this ability is, Irradiating Disarm. Enemies will be affected by radiation for 9 seconds. This mod is nice. I use it often. With the radiations procs, if you put that on a Grinier enemy, he will attack their Grinier friends. And if you have some range on your build, you will proc radiation on a good area. Let's talk about my build now. First we have Narrow-Minded. This mod is obvious on Loki, it gives you a lot of duration, which is what we need primarily. Primed Continuity, again duration mod. By the way, if you don't have it, don't panic. You can replace it by Normal Continuity, it will be good anyway. Stretch, I put some range because I play with the Radiating Disarm, and with some range, you have a good area of effect for this mod. Overextend, as I say range is good, also we don't need ability strength at all. Primed Flow, it is important to have some energy, with more energy you can hit your 4 more often, and don't forget when you are using Invisibility, you can regenerate energy. I also play with Quick Thinking, which can remove you a lot of energy. So a good pool of energy, it's really good for you. Constitution, duration and 40% knockback recovery, which is nice. Quick Thinking, this mod is very good. It prevents you from fatal damage, and it drains your energy with 240% efficiency. I also play with the Radiating Disarm, which is the mod that removes the enemy's weapon. As I say, this mod is very good, because they get confused, with the radiation proc, and they hit each other. For the Exilus, I play with Cunning Drift for more range. And for the Aura, I play with Corrosive Projection, you can replace it by Enemy Radar, Energy Siphon. For the Arcanes, I play primarily melee, so, I pick 2 melee Arcanes. I play with Fury, for extra damage in melee. And Arcane Strike, for more attack speed in melee. With all of that, I have almost 34 seconds invisibility, which is decent. And almost 37 meters range with Radial Disarm, default 4. If you want my opinion on Loki right now, this Warframe is very good, also with shield gating now, he is more good than before. Alright, I think that's it for this video. If you find it informative, you can push that like button. Thank you very much for watching, and I see you on next video.